Yes, sure. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our talk. We are talking about sovereignty newly defined, global IoT in a European cloud. Just introduce ourselves. My name is Jörg Wolf. I'm a digital business consultant at A1, and my colleague Philip.
I'm Philip Möller. I'm Cloud Solution Architect for Exoscale, our infrastructure as a service platform, and doing this for more than 12 years in the German market now, being a cloud enthusiast. Nice to meet you.
Okay, and we wanted to start with a question to the audience. So our question is, have you ever been confronted with the theme of sovereignty of solutions or whatever?
For none of you, it's a topic.
Okay, so Philip, I think we have to explain a bit more into the topic.
And we will.
Sovereignty. Okay, so this is what the value chain of A1 Digital and Exoscale is. So on the left side, we have the industry experts. That's you, our customers, and hardware. So you do the choice of maybe sensors. How is it powered? What protocol do you use? Whatever. So this is the industry expert. And we come in when it comes to the IoT hardware, how to connect your sensor. So we have a choice of gateways. We can do consulting on gateways, whatever. And the most important part here is the connectivity. So we have 400 roaming agreements all over the world in 180 countries. All technologies, 2G, if it's still available, 4G, 5G, and all the low power like NB-IoT and CRM. Okay, and Philip will tell us a bit more about the cloud
and then all those sensors and all those connectivity need a place to actually process the data, as well as store the data, and show the data back to your customer in a readable format. So this is what we do on Exoscale, our infrastructure as a service platform, where we have a stack available to host your cloud-native IoT stack. For example, we have customers using the Things network on Exoscale, so it runs on Exoscale. Data is processed on Exoscale, on our compute instances, on our Kubernetes. We also have database as a service environments for Postgre, for MySQL, but also for Apache Kafka, for Grafana, for visualization, and for OpenSearch. So all of this is brought to you by Exoscale through different means. For example, we have a managed Terraform provider for infrastructure as code implementations. We do have an API, command line interface, and of course, an UI that is web-based. We also provide our own network stack, public network stack, so we have a reliable, low-latency network for your customers to access the data that has been processed and get it off Exoscale in dashboards, in data, in whatever format. For long-term data storage, we have an object storage where you can reliable, secure, and compliant store the data for later use.
Okay, so this is a choice of customers that trust on our solutions. So from connectivity, our IoT platforms, or the services that Exoscale offers. And one that Philip wants to highlight a bit more is the company MAD-DV.
Yes, because we're talking about sovereignty, and we want to start highlighting this topic, sovereignty. And for MAD-DV, it was a very large topic, because what they do is they provide critical healthcare data through IoT for hospitals. So basically, it's very personalized data, and because they, for example, have connectivity between emergency situations. And so if you are injured and there's, for example, there's an RTV coming to get you to the hospital, they are connected to the hospital where you already have like a doctor looking at all the data of the patient to be prepared when the patient is delivered and can act properly. So it's extremely sensitive data that is exchanged. And they had multiple challenges with having to deal with multiple network providers, resulting in sometimes they had to have multiple SIMs to always have the best low latency connectivity back home to really transport the data in real time. And they, of course, had to do it very compliant way, and because it's very sensitive data. We could argue the most sensitive data there is out there. So they reached out to us, and we actually delivered to them our IoT connectivity, reducing the pain by letting us deal with the multi-network challenges there are by selecting the proper provider for the region the device is in. We actually did also mitigate the multi-SIM requirement because we take care of all the networks with a single SIM, and we select the best network to transport your data to that point in time. With Exoscale, as a European cloud provider, with local data centers all across Europe, we actually had the place that allowed them to process this kind of data in Europe, in a cloud platform, without having to deal with local data centers or local IT in hospitals or on-site. So they're using our cloud platform in a compliant way, without any issues for regulatory, being sovereign with their product offering.
So what is sovereign IoT, or what do we understand? So we have two maps here. The left one is the one that shows what A1 networks, the cellular networks cover. On the right side is where our data centers are provided. Okay. Trusted and compliant. So a sovereign solution is, of course, GDPR compliant and ready for the upcoming EU Data Act. Clear and predictive legal environment, very important thing. And a sovereign IoT avoids extraterritorial risks. Means that you are not underlying any extraterritorial laws outside of the European Union that could disclose your data or even close your service. Very important. Also, we are long-term reliable. Also meaning the operation under European justification gives you the safety for a long-time operation under stable laws.
Yes. We at Exoscale, we actually have one major topic ourselves, that is staying sovereign ourselves as a cloud provider. We do this by being completely on open source, our own IP stack, so we do not have a single licensed piece of software or hardware in the entire operation across all 8 data centers. Staying sovereign ourselves and being able to act as we would like to without any external influence. And then we have one question, of course, for you. What's in for you? What's the benefit of going with a sovereign solution? So the first is actually being ahead of your competitors, because especially in Europe, sovereignty is getting a topic. It's getting more and more into the minds of ours and your customers. And being on an European cloud, on a sovereign European cloud now, might give you a competitive advantage towards your competition, talking to customers in Europe. Then we actually do have the to remove the compliance burden from you and your environment. As we showcased with MetDV, we can house data that is affected by extreme European regulatory, and we take this burden off you and provide all the required certifications, all the required documentation to actually being allowed to process and store such kind of data on the A1 solution. One topic that comes into mind is sustainability. So we operate all our data centers with a sustainability report. So we show you as a customer of our environment the detailed information of the sustainability of this environment. So you can actually report it back. And more institutes, especially in the public sector, require such reports, for example, in tenders, to be provided. So we can provide these reports, as well as we are investing in very sustainable, very new data center concepts that's completely different to what you know is currently running in the data center, to even improve sustainability further and getting ahead of our competition.
Definitely. And also very important when it comes to ESG targets. So to fulfill them, this is also very important and is coming up more and more and more. Okay, and of course, for the next generation IoT, when you think about AI-driven solutions or edge to IoT, sovereign solutions will be the key for that in the future. Okay, so we are.
Do you have questions?
Do you now understand what sovereignty is, or
Good question.
why it is important, or do you have any more questions here to that? You hard to understand.
Is it linked to an A1 contract, A1 module, to use your data centers?
It's
It's mandatory.
No. You can use the data.
You can use Exoscale. So we are
Exoscale.
a public cloud provider for Exoscale. So we have terms and conditions, and you can just accept those terms and conditions and use Exoscale without any contract with A1.
It's not linked to a connectivity contract or something like
Yes.
that. You can combine it, and then you have the full chain. So because when you use A1 connectivity, use a private APN, use a VPN, you have the whole chain into the cloud, and then have the solution running on Exoscale, you have a safe chain. And from there, you can have the TTN stack. You can connect the TTN stack via webhook to our IoT solution called based on Cumulosity and so on. So it's like building blocks, and you can combine it however you want. But if you want to use just Exoscale, use Exoscale.
Yes.
We're happy. Okay. Okay.
Any other questions? All good?
If not, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And we are at booth A10. Happy for any further discussion. Come by, chat to us. Happy to help.